Hello guys, this is Mohsin Azam interacting with you from my YouTube channel Business Innovation. Today we are going to start our 8th lesson of Planning Engineer and Primavera tutorials. The topic which we will discuss in today's lesson will be resources. So first of all we have to define a resource, and then we have to assign the resource to the activity. What are actually the resources? The resources are actually the manpower, the equipment, and the material required for the execution of any activity. So all the material, manpower, and equipment which is required for the execution of activity will be called as resources in Primavera. So how to define a resource? So first of all, what we have to do, go to the resource window from the enterprise and then click add to define a resource. So what we have to do now, from the enterprise we have here resources. See, so a new window of resources will open. Now from this window we have to click add button again. Here I will click OK. So see, this is actually a resource visit. This it's not required. Don't show this. All we can modify later on. Just click next, and finish. So this is the resource. For this resource I will first define the ID. So ID I will define as EX, and the name I will define as EXCAVCAVATOR excavator, and the resource type I will define here. This excavator is actually non-labor. Here we have three type of resources. Labor is the manpower which is required for the execution of any activity. So labor include all the skilled and unskilled labor like mason, carpenters, all will be coming under labor. And then we have material. So all the material required for the activity will be defined as a material in Primavera P6, and non-labor is all the equipment which is required for any activity. So this excavator is actually non-labor. I will define here as non-labor. And unit of measurement, if you can define, it's not required. Default unit for time is actually the unit which you can keep here. So by default, when we assign this resource to any activity, by default this number of units will be assigned to that activity. For example, here we have 10 per day. So if I assign this resource to any activity, automatically it will assign 10 excavators to this activity. So this I will keep as 1. So default unit per time is 1. Now this resource is defined. Next we have defined a calendar for the resource. If the resource calendar is different, then we assign to what we assign to an activity. For example, for your resource which you define here, if the calendar or the availability of this excavator is not matching with the activity calendar, then we have to define a specific calendar for this resource. So what we will do, we have here from the enterprise calendars, and in calendars this is our calendar which we defined for this project, and we will go to modify. So this is actually the calendar for this project in which we have 6 working days and Saturday is non-working. So this is actually the activity calendar. Now I want to define different calendar for my resource. So here what I will do, I will click the resource here, and here already I have one defined calendar. I will click this. I can go to add any calendar, filter by all resources, and from here as a sample you can select any calendar as a sample, and then you can modify. So this is actually the calendar, and this calendar actually we have Sunday and Saturday off. What I will do, I will make Friday and Saturday as non-working day, and Sunday will be working day. So for this what we will do, we will go to work week, and here on Sunday I will keep 8 hours. So this resource is actually available for 8 hours per day. So we'll define here the time as 8 hours per day. Sorry, Friday will be non-working, so this I will make 0. So now from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday will be 8 hours working, and Friday and Saturday will be non-work, 0, and then I will click OK. Then I will go to the times period, and here per day number of hours will be 8, and per week it will be 40, and similarly per month it will be, how it will be 40, we have 5 working days. So 5 into 8 will be 40. Similarly, we have to calculate for the month and for the year, and then I will click OK, and by clicking OK, so now we have the calendar EX excavator. We have another calendar EX excavator also. So both I think so are similar. Anyone we can assign to our resource. And this is actually the resource calendars. So now I will close, and what I will do, this is excavator. Now I will go to general, details. In details we have here the calendars. Here I can search my calendar. So we have already the calendar EX excavator which is assigned to this activity. Now I will go to my activity window again, and I will bring this activity details a little down. And now next is from the activity window, now go to the activity window to assign the calendar to activities, and from the activity detail window go to the resources. Okay, click add resource and select the resource which you want to assign to the selected activity. So now from the activity window, for example, if this excavator is selected, we have to go to the, this is actually the activity detail window. From here we have to click the resource button, and here we have to bring this a little up, and here we have add resource. So for the add resource, we have here this excavator which I want to assign to this activity. So that I will click, and I will click add from here. So this resource is added here. Now I will select the other activity, and if the same resource I want to assign to this other activity, I will click add button again. So this assign here also, and now for the backfilling also, and I will close. Now if you see here, a resource is assigned to excavator, to excavation, and then into pipeline also, and backfilling also. So for the excavation, if we see here, the duration for this activity is 7 days, and if we see here, this is remaining unit. One thing I will bring more, customize. I will go to customize, and here instead of remaining unit, I'll bring budget unit per time, and I will click this down and apply and OK. So if you see here, we have budget unit per time as 1. So this is actually the default, as we discussed before in the resource window. We have here for the excavator default unit per time as 1. So if you assign this resource to any activity, by default it will take budget unit per time as 1. So budget unit per time is here 1 per day, and the duration for this activity is 7. So if you want to calculate the total units for this resource for the excavation, it will be the duration multiplied by the budget unit per time. So then it will be 7 multiplied by 1, it will be total 7. So like this you have to define the resources. Similarly for the pipeline, we have the budget unit per time as 1 and the duration is 7. So the total budget unit will be 7. And for the backfilling, if I want to reduce, if we reduce the duration for the backfilling to 5 days, let's see what will happen. And now I will run the project again by clicking F9, and I will schedule it. It should change, but one thing more, fixed duration and unit. This I have to change. This we will discuss later on, but I have to change this 1 per day. Now I'll click here F9 again. See, so now we have the duration 5 days, and the budget unit per time is 1, and the budget unit 5 days. Okay, so like this we can create an activity, and we can assign a resource to the activity. Okay, next will be activity types. So this activity types we will discuss in the next lesson. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.